And they're like, we can't tattoo, I'm losing my money. And I'm like, all right, let me pull this coil out. I'll try to, because
Yeah.
I got the aluminum rod. I was trying to fix it all up. I had it all pressure tested. It all went great. Put it back in there. A week later, all out again.
Yeah, it happens.
You know?
Yeah, and that's why I tell customers like, okay, I've had enough mistakes or like things go bad to know like you're better off getting like a new coil, whatever it is. Like, but now we have
Yeah.
the issue of getting that coil.
People say HVAC's bottom barrel of the trades, and that fired me up. So then I came out with this bottom barrel standard. Whether you're a maintenance guy, installer, whatever, there's a bottom barrel standard, and what I look at it is I'm getting the bottom of that barrel and I'm cleaning it, and it's going to be clean.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Reliable HVACR podcast on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. If you guys are listening to this on audio on Spotify or Apple or any of those other platforms, make sure you leave a review. I appreciate all the 5-star reviews, and that really helps us out. Make sure you follow the show too. And we're just, having good conversations with good people. If you are interested in being on the show, I take on any guest. If you want to come on and tell your story, we can talk about your journey through where you got to where you're at now. And I think some people listening can relate to certain stories. So it helps. Just come on, tell your story. Any sponsors that want to come on and help out with the show, there's a few spots left. Email me. All my info is in the description. If you guys want to be a sponsor of the show, any companies that are listening, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you to all the sponsors that do make this podcast possible, like Jobber, our CRM that we use specifically for our business. A lot of automation, a lot of AI features coming. I can't wait to use that next year and kind of really implement the marketing and everything. So if you guys want a free trial and discount, make sure you check the link in the description or go to getjobber.com/reliable HVACR. Also want to thank VETO Pro Pack for letting me help them design some bags and listening to feedback and getting to work with them. They've been a great supporter and sponsor of the show. Make sure you go check out the best bags money can buy at vetopropack.com. You'll also hear from Local HQ Marketing, DIVERSITECH, and GRE. Thank you again for the sponsors of the show. And a quick plug, make sure you go to reliablehvacr.net if you guys want any merch. We got the In Trades We Trust merch that just dropped. The old stuff that I've always had. If you guys like any of the logos, HVAC Nights is up there too, so make sure you go check that out. Also, we have a Discord, speaking of HVAC Nights, and I'll leave that link down below so you guys can join. We've had a lot of cool conversations, tool talk, tips and tricks. A lot of questions get asked there. So go check out our Discord. It's completely free. You can join and chat with any of us in the group. And a lot of other guys have joined, and it's been really cool. And make sure you check out HVAC Nights live every Thursday night with Jake, Cooling with Kraus, and Curtis, the HVAC guy. We appreciate all the support on that show as well. On today's episode, we have Jake Jackowski, also known as Blue Collar Built. I've followed him. He has a pretty big following on TikTok. He's also on YouTube and Instagram, so I'll make sure to leave all that down below so you guys can go follow him. Check him out. A lot of great work. I learned a lot of tips and tricks watching his videos and his customer interactions. He's always a positive guy. Honest tech, love to see it. Makes his own shirts. He has a lot of, he actually prints in-house. I thought that was kind of cool. So we talk about, hobbies, the family, work-life balance, and kind of how he got to where he's at. Worked his way up the ladder at his company, gets a lot of benefits out of that. So we'll get into everything. And without further ado, enjoy the episode. You had a birthday weekend? What'd y'all do?
Yep. Well, actually, the party's today, but it's just
Oh, sorry.
honestly no, that's not till like 4. So
Okay.
it worked out good. Actually, they're out getting little trinkets for the party, to hang up and stuff, and
Dude, that's all hectic. Are y'all doing
Yeah,
it somewhere or at the house?
at the house. Yeah,
That's all
yeah,
hectic. Cause my son was last month, and then our daughter is this month, this weekend. So we had ours yesterday.
yeah.
But they like to go to Peter Piper. So my kids are 11 and 9 now. I don't know how old your kids are.
Oh man, I'm 6, 4, and 3.
Okay, you got a handful there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all that stuff, you gotta do the nice stuff, like you said, the all the little things that you need to do, the parties and everything.
Oh yeah, man. Now that they're getting older, it's like now the school friends are gonna have to start joining in,
Uh,
and it's like here we go.
it was cool when it was just us, right? Like it's just the family, the
Just
kids, real
yep,
simple, chill out, kick back. And then actually ours started asking this year. I don't know if it took a while, but both of them, or maybe last year, and they're like, "Hey, can we invite our friends and this and that?" And I was like, "All right, man. Like let's figure this out." And then like I had my son's last month, and we went to. He's a little bit older, right? So at 11, can't go to Chuck E. Cheese anymore. And he wanted. He always wants. There's a main event. I don't know if you guys have main event. It's like Dave and Buster's.
yeah, yeah, yep,
So that's where he loves to go. And I'm like, well, I got tired of going there. So we went to Dave and Buster's instead. And it's a little pricier over there. And, I was expecting like 3 kids, 4 kids, and then like freaking 5 or 6 showed up. Their whole family showed up. And I'm like, all right, I got to
yeah.
go run the bill up
Get
right
some.
now.
Yeah. Oh, I know that, man. Put a little extra overtime in that week for that reason.
Oh, exactly, dude. Um, but it's all fun. The kids, you do anything for them. That's what we're in the trades and the
Yep,
trenches, getting everything set for our families, and that's the good thing that we can do that.
that's right. Yep.
So how are you, man? I know I've seen you on TikTok. I remember coming across you mostly because of your customer interactions. That's kind of where
Yeah.
I started seeing you,
Mm-hmm.
and then saw you pull off the whole panels together on the condensers, and I was like, I got to try that. I think I tagged you in that or mentioned you, whatever it is on TikTok, and then
Yeah.
you gave me some pointers on that one. But that's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
If you're doing like 5 of them, 10 of them a day, they come off easy.
I almost threw my back out doing that one.
Yeah, I'd say I stop about 3 ton.
Yeah, I was gonna say this was like a 3.5, 4 ton, and I was like, no, it's too
Yeah.
tall. And they're only getting taller and taller now.
No, I know. It's crazy.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to do those in 5 years. This podcast is presented by Local. Local works tirelessly to help HVAC contractors rank higher on Google. They use an attack methodology to make sure that contractors dominate their local service areas and increase their market share and generate higher revenue. Reach out to Local at localhq.com/reliable. Mention me or the Reliable HVACR podcast, and you'll get 2 months of SEO for free.
I know. We got still a lot of old systems out that, I do try to keep running and, you know,
I'm
if
the same.
customers can afford it, move on forward. But until then, if a cleaning's all that's needed, yeah, we're
Yeah,
running
like
that.
and that's another thing. Like I've followed you for a while now. I'm still new to TikTok. I don't know how that works, but uh you work on a lot of older stuff. I'm a service guy. I work with my dad. My dad's a service, but on the hot side, like on the hot cooking equipment, because we do restaurants.
Right.
And we have the same mentality. Like if it can be fixed, we'll fix it. We had to kind of figure out that line of when to tell them to get a new equipment, right? It's always
Yep.
like, because I've been burned before by trying to fix something and then like you spend so much money and it doesn't work. I mean, it's
Oh,
happened to us.
oh yeah. I replaced the heat exchanger last year. I remember. I told them you need to replace this furnace. The heat exchanger was under warranty, but they still had to pay my labor, which is, it's a good penny there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you still have all old parts, and a month later, their inducer motor went out, and that was almost the same price as the labor on my. I was like, so, and then we just got into a match, and I'm like, this is why I record a lot of stuff too, because customers will come in there and be like, you didn't tell me that. Well,
Well, yeah,
I did.
it's good for liability issues and stuff like that too. Like, because I've even seen people that now it's more common now, but recording, it could be I don't know if it's video recording or audio recording, and they use it just in case, like you said, if
Oh
something
yeah.
wasn't explained or whatever, they try to say later, or they try to. I've heard of some scams. I don't know if you've
Oh yeah.
ever run into that.
That's and honestly, I post some satire stuff, some comedy stuff, and that's shit that I've seen real life, man. Like,
Yeah, it
coming
happens.
back
That stuff
technician.
happens.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a sad world, man. It's when a 90-year-old guy is financing a $20,000 piece of equipment that the other company don't want to come service anymore.
Hmm.
That's sad. That's that's all I'm trying to bring. And just real life 100%. This is what you're going to get if you do if you're doing residential like commercial. This is what you're getting.
Well, that's what we need, because that's what people like. Even when I started posting, I started more on YouTube, and like the
I remember.
miss.
What year did you start?
I think during 2020, but it might have been 2021, like when I actually started posting a lot.
Gotcha.
Cause
So you've been on YouTube grip for a while.
yeah, it's done well, but it's hard to keep up with it. So I've been trying to be better about it now. But like people would like all the mistakes. Like I wasn't editing out, I screwed up a
Yeah.
fan. I put the wrong fan motor in one time, and that video did really well. Now you're gonna get people that tell you that you're an idiot, which is fine. I'm like, I'm on the rooftop. It's 120. I'm not thinking straight all the time. And then sometimes you take it for granted. Like I've already done this so many times that I know what it is. And then you do that, and it's like, okay, that wasn't it actually. So then you move on to the next thing.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
But that's what's I think that's the best content. Like when you get out there and you show the real stuff, like you with the customers and dealing with that. Because and it's funny because that reminded me, because I just posted a meme yesterday of because I had a buddy of mine call me for a walk-in, but I couldn't do the job. It was last minute, and a lot of times the commercial stuff, it's like it's moving too quick. They need the bids, they need it done, right away, because he's like a general contractor, and it was a company from up north that came down and actually did the job, the walk-ins. Now, mind you, these are real narrow walk-ins. Only a
Yeah.
single fan evaporator fits in there, and that's what it's meant for. You've done light commercial work,
Yeah. Like
or
I'll work
just,
up to 20 tons.
but mostly AC, right?
Yeah, AC. In
So
school, I did refrigeration. Just touched on it.
that's like me. I was like, I touched on industrial, but I'm not gonna do it. um, so it was a real narrow walk-in, and it was two of them. They did it twice, and they shoved in a two fan evaporator sideways, right? So it's just hitting the wall. I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
and they called me because the thing wasn't draining. I'm like, your drain is pitched up. I was like, it's not even pitched down. And they, it's kind of, I had to make a whole new hole for it and everything because it drained out. And I was like, dude, I was there in shock. I didn't even know what to tell him. I just like I walked up to it and I'm like, this is the dumbest install I've ever seen.
Yeah. That's
and then
that's the work.
and then he told me they're not going to come down and service it because they're like 5 hours away. I'm like, why did you even get them? Like, I don't understand.
I know, dude.
I was like, you
It's
should have just waited another month and we could have came out and did it. But I was just tied up. It was in the summer. I was like, I can't do it right now. But
a
yeah,
lot of times customers just like, I need it. I need it now. I want it now. And who's going to do it now? I've had very close buddies go with somebody else because we just so busy.
there's a reason the good companies are busy, so busy.
Yep.
You got to
Yeah.
wait a
I,
little
I
bit.
probably have like 3 slow days a year, and that's like spring. Like from summer to fall and winter, there is no downtime.
How big is your company? The company you work for?
So the company I work for, and this is I've only worked for two companies. I came out of school. I actually put myself through school for a year, tech school. That was like 6 hours a day. The full works. They're just cramming so much knowledge into your brain in 9 months that you don't even know
What
what you just learned.
were you a good were you a good like school person? Like I
Dude,
wasn't.
so when I was in high school, I was very I had a very rough upbringing. I actually did like 2 years in juvenile detention. Came
Okay.
out of juvenile detention, um, still kind of messing up in life, and then I met my wife and started going through college or tech school, and I came out of there a 4.0 student.
Oh,
Didn't
no
miss a
way.
day. Yeah, dude. And
So
it
a
was cool.
troubled kid did great in college.
Yeah, dude, and it was just something that I love to learn. Like when I would come home, like, granted this was before kids and all.
Oh yeah.
I would read that. I would read my chapter maybe 4 times every night. And we're reading Modern Refrigeration. That book is huge, and
Oh yeah, I got all
um,
that in the shelf down here. I still got all my textbooks.
yeah, man. And occasionally you got to go back and refreshing your mind and stuff. But yeah, I was like 6 months into that program, and I started filling out applications. I'm like, I need to get a job going because I'm right now. I was getting up at 4 in the morning, sweeping a store, going to school till 6, and then coming home at 3, and then going back to work till like 6. So I was pretty worked up. So I was looking to try to go to school, go to work till like 9.
Yeah.
Eventually I found that. I got hired in Toledo, Ohio, and started doing. Honestly, I don't regret any of the decisions I made as far as where I chose to go because I did have a lot of people trying to hire me at the time, and I went to a small mom and pop shop. The daughter was actually taking over for the dad. I never even met the dad, but he was still pulling permits and all that.
Yeah.
So
That's my
it
goal
was
in the future, just to not be seen. I'm just the one pulling the permits with the license.
there you go, man. So I worked there. It was just me and service tech, and the service tech would literally drop me off with sheet metal, pipe, gas fittings. Here's a furnace. You install it. He would get me going, but
Yeah.
he'd be like, "I'm gonna go do some service calls. I'll pick you up when I'm done." And that's how I first started out. And then it started getting to like, "Hey, we're gonna have you use your car." I had an Impala, so I was driving an Impala in Toledo, Ohio, down in some pretty rough parts, man, doing installs, and then they'd call me up like, "Hey, it's like getting 7 o'clock. You need to get out of that area. We got a service call across town." So then I'd start hitting service calls up after my installs, and I worked there for about 6 months, and I've been working where I'm at for over 10 years now. When I first started,
So
there
like
was just me and
within the 6 months, you were already running service and doing all these other stuff.
oh, for sure. Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
within probably a month, man. I mean, yeah, it was just me. What could they do? Yeah, you know,
Just throw you in.
they yeah, they're like, hey, just call me on the phone and we'll walk you through it. And yeah, that's those times right there really make a technician because you're in the moment, man, and you
Oh
got to
yeah.
figure it out. So yeah,
That's
got
my
hired in over.
that's my
Go
my
ahead.
dad's whole mentality, like figure it out. Like that's just that's the way I was too. He would lead me at places and he's like, figure it out.
Yeah, man. I get people commenting on my stuff all the time. Like, I can't believe you work on all the vast majority of stuff you do. And I'm like, what do you mean? You can turn it down?
I also want to thank DiversiTech. They simplify your work. They have everything a contractor needs to complete a job. That goes from equipment mounting, condensate, management, tools, maintenance chemicals, electrical components, indoor air quality, and much more. They have different branches under the same umbrella. More than likely, you're already using some of their products or tools. So go check out diversitech.com, and it's your one-stop shop for everything HVAC. Do you ever think about that later on, like if you want to do your own thing?
I mean, if my kids were like, Dad, this looks so fun, and like, if they really got into it, like in their teenage years, maybe. But
Family business?
Yeah, man. I get to go home at 3:30, 4 o'clock every day. I'm on call once a month usually, and in the summer I'm not even on call. So
Currently.
I've worked my senior card, and
Okay.
so like literally I hardly work overtime. So could I beat it? I don't know, probably not.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing, because that's the thing that I learned in when I went to trade school. I went to a local community college and did mine here, but like the cool thing was like half the teachers, there was like four of them, half of them owned a company and we would get those conversations in class,
Yep.
and the other two worked for somebody or for the school, doing their chiller work and stuff like that. And my whole thing at that time was like I thought the end goal was to work for yourself. And then I got to talk to those that worked there, and they're like,
Hmm.
why would I? Like, I make so much here. I get a flexible schedule, I get benefits, I get all this. So like
Yeah,
there's different I always say there's a different success for everybody, right? Like you're
exactly.
somebody could be wanting to do their own business, somebody could just want guaranteed money and a stable job, right? Like that's the thing.
Yep, yep. And it's tough, because I got so like I'm trying to reach the whole new generation. That's like what I'm like. I just want someone to be able to take care of me when I'm not able to come down here and fix my furnace. I want someone to be like, man, you know,
You want some
my blue.
competent
Yeah,
techs
yeah.
that are not lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And it's getting so hard in this generation, but like I'll have kids messaging me all the time. That's what keeps me going is like, hey man, just you explaining how, R22 is getting phased out or a bad heat exchanger. Like that conversation helped me with so many other customers, and I'm just like, well, shoot, I can't quit this now, man. So um,
You got a good
yeah,
gig there on the social media, because that's the crazy thing. Like, and I'm nowhere, you know, up up there in numbers as far as followers, but like it is crazy. Like once I started getting those messages, because they do come if you post,
yeah,
and you build a little like community and stuff. You start getting these random messages and stuff like, you inspired, you motivated, you helped me with this or that. Whereas like I always took things for granted. Like I'm like, I thought everybody knew this, or I thought everybody thought the same
yeah,
way, and I
yeah,
didn't realize it, but it helps people.
yeah. Like I mean, even I'll catch myself like on a video, like, man, do I really need to show this? Like, I've showed it so many
Hmm.
times, but maybe someone hasn't seen that yet and is just starting out and never saw
Exactly.
that other video. It's just, yeah. And I tell kids all the time, like, post, man. Even newer kids can learn from you. You guys can
Exactly.
feed off each other, and
And that
and
and I'm
on
we're
TikTok.
I'm seeing that real time, because I had some kids on here not too long ago, and they literally just started their YouTube. And if you go to their page and look at their comments, it's all kids in school, right? And they're like, "I'm
Yeah,
excited, I'm this." They're getting all hyped up, and I'm like, "Dude, that's what it is, right?" People relate to different creators, right? Like there's a
yeah,
creator that everybody gravitates to, like a kid. They see another kid doing this and enjoying it and doing all the hard work. That gets them motivated, because they're also kids trying to figure out
exactly.
what they want to do. So I've seen it in real time, and I always tell these people, because like I get asked about mine. I'm like, I don't know. I just started posting. Just post, even if you're a filter changer, if you do maintenance, if you do cleanings, like whatever it is, somebody wants to see it.
Exactly, man. And just take it in stride, man. Just embellish all the comments. For every good comment, you're gonna have probably 10 bad ones.
That's the only thing you do need to
You got
be
you
careful
can't
with
wear
it.
your you can't wear your heart on your sleeve with this stuff here.
No, and I used to get riled up. It still gets me every now and then when I see a dumb comment. I'm like, oh, like I should say something, and then I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Like I need to leave that. I need to leave that alone.
Yep,
Uh,
yep.
it's not as bad as it used to be. I don't know. You get more views than I do, so maybe you get more comments. But I feel like it used to be all negative in the comments, and now it's kind of like helped that there's more people doing it.
Yeah, yeah. And like I was gonna bring up like when I started the YouTube thing, there was like maybe 5 creators,
Yeah, yeah. When I
on you.
started, the same thing. Yeah,
And so it's like you're trying to grasp all these guys' knowledge, and then I kind of just like morphed it all into my being, and that's what I'm putting out.
everybody's story is different, but somebody's gonna relate to it.
Exactly, man. And I tell you what, the podcasts are awesome, man. I listen to the nights. I think it's what, Thursday. Do you put it out on podcasts on Thursdays or Fridays?
I try to put it out during the week. It's just whenever I can. But the
Whenever it comes up, I listen to you guys. You guys are awesome. And then of course yours. I just started listening to podcasts literally like 2 months ago, man. I
oh,
just got
okay.
so drawn up on the music, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna put some
Yeah,
podcasts on.
I'm still a music guy in the van because I drive a lot. But every
Hmm.
now and then I try to put one on, or when I'm not doing anything around the house, I'll put one on or something. I do like the video better. That's just me. I've always been a video person, visual. So
Yeah,
I like to try and catch up during the week with the different podcasts, and they each have or offer something different. With the nights, we just kick back and talk a bunch of
yeah. That
BS
looks
and
like a
stuff.
good time.
Yeah, I like those guys. And then here trying to get everybody's story out, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones, HVAC school, AC service tech, answering
Hmm.
like those hard hitting questions and all that. Like there's something for everybody. That's what I like about it. And today's episode is also brought to you by Gree Comfort. I have heard nothing but high regards for Gree themselves. Gree offers not only just ductless mini splits that you might know them for, whether it's single zone or multi zone. Gree has the Gree Flex and the Multi Pro for whole home and building cooling, so you guys can actually get systems for your house and stuff like that. They always have updated system documentation and live video trainings for contractors. They help you with your installations and make it as seamless as possible. You can follow them on Instagram and YouTube at Gree Comfort, and you'll get access to all their educational video content. I'll leave that linked below.
Yeah, there's so much knowledge out there that people are just like giving away for free. And
Dude,
if I mean, coming out
yeah,
of school, you could be a super tech straight up.
there's no excuse. Like that's what gets me. I was like, there's no excuse. Like
Yeah.
if you're out there, because I mean I go behind companies all the time. If you're out there and you do, and I get it sometimes, like you work with what you got, because sometimes my work doesn't look great. But if you're not helping the customer, not doing what you should, and it's a bad job, there's no excuse. Like why did you do it that way? Like you could have
Exactly.
learned online, listened to something, or watch HVAC school or any of those videos, and like they literally show you, like AC Service Tech shows you, because I was explaining this to when we were at the birthday party yesterday. My girlfriend's cousin had a kid, and she's like, you know what? I don't know anybody else that does AC, and she would start asking me questions. He's interested in AC work, and he's in middle school. I was like,
That's
really?
awesome.
I was like, really? I've never heard that. Like, I was like, I sat there and I started like spitting out a whole bunch of stuff because I'm like, I get excited about it. And I was like, if you go to AC Service Tech, he literally shows you on equipment, like how to do things. If you go to
Hmm.
HVAC school, they do the whole 3D animation stuff to explain what they're talking about. Like the 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 resources are ridiculous right now. Whereas when I started, I couldn't even find a manual online.
Yeah, you had to pay for it, man. You had to pay. You had to pay big bucks for the books, and
Yep.
you know,
Go to
yeah,
the trainings and get all the manuals in person.
ex-
There was other ways to get it. Now you just search it real quick.
dude. I know yeah. I've had some days where I'm like, man, I couldn't find that answer, and I went home, researched it. But now, like in today's world, you could easily find that with somebody's video. So
I hear that a
yeah,
lot, and it throws me off because I was like, you you searched a YouTube video in front of the customer, and they're like, yeah, that's how the kids get by now. I'm like, well, I mean, that's
yeah,
awesome. It's just weird to me because I was like, I couldn't do that in the past. I would get stuck on something and either like figure it out. It took me way too long to figure out, or I had to go home and like look it up and tell the
yep.
customer like, I'm sorry, I got to be back.
That's
I'll be back
that's
tomorrow.
exactly what I. We got to reconvene on this one. I got a part I need to figure out finding for you, and you
You
know,
gotta figure out
yeah,
like, the lingo and everything, but and explain to them. I mean, I'm honest with them. I'm not gonna tell them like, anything else, but I'm like, we'll be back. I gotta figure it out. We'll be back.
yep.
Now it's just like these kids are looking up YouTube videos, which is great. Like I encourage any of that as long as they're interested in it, because I I want to see better techs in the field.
I'll have comments like, "Hey, you should have done it this way," and I'll look back and like, you know what? Maybe I should have done it that way. Probably been
Oh
a lot
yeah,
easier.
I love the comments if they actually give me some
Some good
useful
feedback. Yeah,
information.
yeah,
Yeah, because
yeah.
if they're just there to fight, I ignore it. But a lot of times they'll correct me, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. Or I didn't know what a certain part was because I see a lot of old stuff here, and then like getting into the electronic stuff, I was like, I don't know anything about this, but I'm gonna figure it out. And sometimes that stuff gets posted. Me trying to figure out what the hell I'm looking at, and then people will correct me, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like I didn't know that. So
Right, right.
that's the stuff that I love, and yeah, just it's a cool thing to do. You just have to be you have to keep in mind you need a tough skin to ignore the comments that you get, the bad ones, and then you'll be good. I get the negative, or I used to get the negative ones more often, and they will rip me apart, make fun of me
Yeah,
basically. But every year, like I just got one a few months ago, it's the same guy still there, and I'm like, dude, why are you still
yeah,
here?
man. Yeah, it's yeah.
But thank you for the watch time, and I appreciate your comment for the algorithm.
Yep, yep. Watch the ad for me,
Yeah,
buddy.
man.
What I remember is there's like 7 billion people, and if one of them has something to say to me, I don't need that. Like you said earlier, you start working yourself up over some stupid stuff, and I can just hit the block button real quickly, and they don't need to see my success. That's where I'm at with it.
I know I'm good. I'm over here. I do my own thing. I try not to worry about anybody else. I just try to keep up with, you know, uh, a lot of the comments or in the chat or anything like that that I get on my channel. Like it's guys that I've gotten to know. So like those are the
Yeah,
like the day ones or whatever you want to call it. And those are the cool people. Those are the ones I keep up with. And then anybody that I watch, I try to talk to them or comment and try to keep up with them too. That's the community that we've built, and it's a good one.
yeah, man. You gotta have it. Gotta have it. That's my goal right now. I'm working on the state licensing so I can be the one to pull the jobs. My boss is selling his company to his son-in-law right in the process of that, or already has happened, and I'd be the license holder for a little bit at least, and try to get a little compensation from that too, without having to have this extra
Yeah.
stress.
Well, yeah, because like people ask me about the whole the license thing, and it's like I don't know. Some companies might see it as a threat, but like it adds to your value. Honestly, like if you want to, like you
Yeah,
said, get more for it, you can, and it's never a bad thing to have, just in case.
yeah. In the state of Michigan, there's like 7 of them I got to take, and you can only like take 2 or 3 a day,
Okay.
and I have to drive like 2 hours away to take these tests. So it's a process, and I go up north a lot in the summertime. So I'm hoping I can, because I'll be driving right by where I go. Um, During the summer, I go about 4 hours away to Lake Michigan almost every weekend. So like I'm traveling all the way across Michigan every weekend just to be at our little summer cottage. It's a summer trailer, but that's what I work all year for, man. Is that right
The
there?
the getaway, yeah.
The getaway.
I've been
Yeah.
more into traveling lately too. I went up to, but I had a business trip, and that's another benefit. The content creation, the having a business and all that. I've been taking these little business trips here and there. I went to Denver. Don't want to work there. I don't know how you guys do it up north. It was snowing there. I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm from
Yeah.
Texas. I don't like that.
We still haven't had any snow. I
No,
nothing sticking. No, not in my
I went
area.
up there.
It's cold.
Yeah, I went up there and it was like 20 degrees. Like right now, right here, it is 60 and I'm cold. That's what I'm used
Yeah.
to. That's the coldest it gets here. Every now and then it dips into the 40s, but not real
22
bad.
right now. Ooh,
I can't do it.
that's t-shirt wearing weather for me out there.
Yeah,
40s.
I can't do that. I went up there and the cool thing is that I knew people up there because of the social media. So I met up with, some people up there
Oh,
and
that's
I was
sweet.
like, I don't know how you guys do it because they mechanical environments. They're, I think they're on TikTok too. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
do
I've seen
the
some
the
videos.
growth and cannabis stuff. So they're doing
Yeah.
AC work all year round. So they're up there on rooftops in the snow working on ACs because it has to be a conditioned space. And I was like, I just don't
Hmm.
know how you guys do that. and they're like, yeah, we got to shovel some snow sometimes to get to the unit, but that they love it. So, and it's a good business because not a lot of people do it, and that is a big
Oh
big
yeah.
thing in that area.
Oh yeah. Michigan is a medical state as
Okay.
well, and like I think they were one of the first. So like I even remember going to mini splits, setting mini splits jobs
Hmm.
up for little
Yeah,
garages that are they're trying to do the little thing, and everything was legal, and a lot of companies steered away from it, but we're like, hey man, if it puts out AC and heat, we're doing it.
it's
Like
crazy because
so,
they are nonstop work and
I
and they
imagine.
wanted to hang out and we did dinner at a place there and I felt so bad because they were getting out of work. I was like, are you sure you guys want to hang out? Like, because they work long days and they work weekends. I'm like, man, it's because it's just in demand and they're like, they don't know why more people don't do it. And I'm like, well, I don't know, maybe they don't know, but it's a good business to be in.
A lot of time, I'm sure they like me, like you very seldom work anymore, like hard,
Yeah,
because I think you get to that point where you feel so comfortable. Like I'm enjoying this process now, and work isn't really work unless I have to get in a crawl or in an attic. That's when it's like, oh man, why am I doing this? But where they are, they're climbing up on the roof, getting them done probably real quickly, and on to the next one. It's you just it becomes so comfortable and so natural after a while, and
it's like
you almost forget the hard.
yeah, it's like me here in the summer. It's 120 degrees, but I'm good with it. I rather be in that than in the snow, but that's just what I'm used to. And that,
So, what's the humidity level like
dude,
though?
it's like 80% at least.
Oh yeah, okay. I was just saying because our summers aren't hot, but the humidity will kill us. But we'll only have that for
I
like a week.
I'm trying to figure out some better. Like I know HVAC techs are probably the worst at their own equipment. I'm trying to
Oh
be
yeah,
better. I'm trying to be better about it
my
because
filter needs to change right now.
I just I just walked past mine and I'm like, damn, that looks dirty. But
Yeah,
my son has allergy.
I got a 4-inch filter, so that thing will
Oh,
last
okay.
6 months.
Yeah.
And then by then I forget. It's like, oh shoot.
Yeah, it happens. But my son has allergies now. He developed like pet allergies and stuff like that. So now I've been looking into like purifying the air and kind of all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff because that would help him and it's
Oh,
something that I
absolutely.
never thought about before.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's so much air quality things out there. I mean, we used to sell a lot of air scrubbers back when COVID was really huge. I haven't sold
Uh,
an air scrubber in some time now, but usually I just try to upsell people on big filters, man. Getting that filter cabinet sealed right, then maybe throw in a UV light and call it.
yeah, that's what I'm looking into right now. I've talked to some guys. I even had Aaron from DiversiTech or Fresh Air on the
Yeah, I heard
show
that was a good show. That was a good one.
to talk about it because I'm like, yeah, like let come on and explain it to me because I'm dealing with it right now. I need to do something. So that was informative and I've had buddies that are like I'm skeptical on everything. So like I was like, does it really work? I have buddies that said that they had the same issue with their kid. They put one in and like he's like night and day difference. So he's like, I don't know what it is, but like it did make a difference. So I'm looking into it
Yeah.
and we'll see.
was to say that Navian one, the guy you had on there. I mean, I'm as soon as the outdoor unit comes, I am putting that in my house, the full set.
That's what I told him at Navian. Like, I was like, this is cool, but like, I don't want to just install one part of it. Like, and then he's like, oh,
Yeah.
we got something coming. I was like, okay, that would make more sense, right? Like you get the whole thing. And
Yep.
that's something. Another thing was like, cause I didn't need just the indoor unit because we don't run heat. Like right now our AC is just off in the winter. Like we
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
run any heat or anything like that. But I was like, people up north like yourself, you guys deal with boilers and all this other kind of stuff, hydronic stuff. Like that's where, somebody will benefit from a Navian unit like that hydro furnace. I was like, this is cool stuff. I'm in Texas, so
That's
I'm sorry.
good. That was very good information there. I like that one too, man.
That's cool. And yeah, hopefully I don't know when that's gonna come out, but hopefully soon.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna get hopefully employee discount.
uh what was I gonna ask? Oh, we talked about family earlier. Like, how do you deal with like the work life balance? Are there any boundaries you set? Because I know you said you worked your way up to seniority tech, and you kind of get that
Yeah.
from your company. But is there anything
Yeah.
else you do especially because you do social media? Like, do you have roles or boundaries set in place?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I get home about anywhere from 3 to 4 o'clock in the day. My kids sometimes don't get home till 4 o'clock, so I may have that hour in between to where I can just hammer out some edits. And
Yeah.
I am honestly just editing everything on my phone. I know it could probably be a lot better if I use the laptop and all that, but there I'm getting into more time. So
Yeah,
then
you
we
end
do that.
up going down a whole rabbit hole because like I did the phone thing forever, then I got an iPad, and then I got a laptop, and now I have to sit down and do it, and it takes more time.
Yeah, man. So you get your 4 hours of hanging out with the family before the kids got to settle down and go to bed. And then me and my wife hang out for a while, and I hit some more edits when I'm in bed. It's just constant,
Yeah, it's
you
hard.
know. And so I mean, TikTok they do. I mean, I've been monetized on there for quite some time, and I do really well. YouTube is too, but I mean, once you start getting a little bit more income coming in, you're like, why am I? I'm not going to just stop, And yeah,
It's motivating because like what I started, I save all the money that I get, so that helps me in the long run, like splurge on
exactly.
vacations, on trips. I put a little bit into it, a little bit of it into the truck that I just bought, stuff like that. And it's an incentive if you get paid, so that's the cool part. I do want
Exactly.
people to understand that when you start, I don't know how long it took you, but it could take a while for you to get monetized. Like, you don't do
Yeah,
it for the money.
yeah. You really don't. I mean, it took me probably a year and a half, and then I
Yeah,
got monetized. I got monetized in the old program to where like I remember I had like a million view video, and I literally made $2.
that's crazy.
And I'm like, but I kept doing. I was the thrill of the views and the interactions. It keeps you going. It really does. Um, and if you can feel confident in yourself doing it, I say do it.
It's funny. It's helped me in so many other ways because I'm an introvert. My whole life I was just like I didn't like talking to people, and now I do this, and I feel like it's helped me with my speech. Being able to talk to people. I don't know what you call that. People skills. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all beneficial to me at my work too. And then
Yep.
there's always that little conscious now about when you're working and filming, like make sure I do everything the right way. And
It-
yeah, you
yes.
hold yourself accountable.
Yes. I just told my boss this the other day. I'm like, I saw an install someone else did. I'm like, if everybody videotaped themselves and had to put their stuff out there, there'd be a lot different, outcomes on things. There may be perfect installs out there now because they're tired of getting ragged on.
Yeah.
There's just a higher level of competence when you start posting.
Yeah, you think about everything twice as much
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
make sure it's right.
I was doing a boiler and I saw this. I had two of my helpers come. One of them walked in. He's like, "Man, that pipe looks pretty crooked." And sure as shit, he was right. And I had it in the video, and I'm like, "Dang it, man! I'm gonna have to fix that."
Yeah, that's me
So
too.
yeah, and
Um,
everybody that has to work with me now, they're like, "Oh God, the social media guy. We got to work with him, so everything's got to be perfect."
that and that should be the standard, but yeah, it's because you're videotaping. There was Casey, right?
Yep,
Um,
yep.
there's a few of you that kind of blew up over there, and it's awesome to see. It's funny. I had Christian on the last
Oh,
episode.
he's a day one. Me and him are day ones, man. He's a good dude.
He brought you up, and he's like, "Yeah, we started around the same time." And he's like, "I love seeing him blow up and do what he's doing." And I was like, "Man, really?" Like he's like, "Yeah, I was one of his first like followers and all that."
Yeah, I remember him like maybe at I maybe at 100, dude, because I was so geeked up about his tools that he carried.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, dude, this guy is legit. I mean, like, this is me in Jersey or whatever, because I'd be all about the tools, man. He had them all perfect. His van and his installs always look great. Like, those are the standards that we all need to hold, and
It
it'd be
was
a different.
cool. It was cool seeing him. I found him, I think, because of the tools and stuff. And he was already, I think, bigger than I was, at least on TikTok, right? Because I was still trying to build it up.
Yeah.
And then I commented, I followed him and everything, and he's like, he started geeking out. He told me on the last episode, he's like, dude, I started fangirling, and he's like, I'm doing it right now. I was like, you're bigger than I am. I was like, I was a fan of yours, so I mean, it's all good. It's just funny because he said that I've had a few that like I started posting because you started talking about posting. I'm like, yeah, like that's what I
Yeah.
want to see is more people posting. Like I'm always going to encourage people to do it. And you never know because a lot of the guys that I've had those conversations with, they're way bigger than I am, like on YouTube or TikTok. Like
Yeah.
you never know. And I've seen guys that have like 20, 50,000, whatever it is. And I'm like, see, like a couple months ago, you were scared to post. And then look what happened. You blew up. Like, you
Yeah.
never know.
You never know what someone can relate to, man. You really don't. I had my buddy, I don't know if you ever seen UC Mr. B. He does a ton of sheet metal work, but he lives 3 hours away, and dude, he's one of my best friends now. We try to hang out, once,
Oh, that's
twice a
cool.
year, and yeah, it's just if without social media, TikTok, that would have never happened.
No,
This
because
me and you, it'd been yeah. It's just
no, it's cool
the
because like you never, yeah, because it's like-minded people on the internet, right? Like you link up, talk to people. It's just like me and the guys on nights. Like we had so much in common, and we ended up doing that show together. Never would have
yeah.
happened if we didn't like interact with each other, and they didn't if they weren't on YouTube is where I met them. But you never know. Like that's the cool thing. And then like I don't know if you go to any trade shows or anything because I go to the AHR Expo.
I haven't, man. I was gonna go to Chicago last year, but then things fell through.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh yeah, because I got to meet HVAC Army out there, and that was like a random thing.
yeah,
Jarrett.
I think they're head there in Chicago. I think there's a couple of them out there.
Oh yeah, because and it was random. Like the show was closing. I was there the whole day for whatever day it was, and we met each other like exiting. I was like, dude, and
Yeah,
he's like, yeah. He's like, dude, what's up? And he gave me a ride and everything, and I was like, okay, cool. And we started chatting, and it's just because I knew him from TikTok,
yeah,
and it's cool because I go into that. I've been to like three of them now, the AHR Expo. So then you walk in there. The first year was scary because I didn't know anybody. My brother was with me, but like,
see, I'd be nervous. I would be nervous.
but
I'm
then
like, who
like,
did I piss off? No.
oh yeah, oh I got to worry about that this year. But that's a whole other thing. No, but like you get in there and you know all these people from online, so it was kind of cool that I could go in there and
Yeah,
actually talk to people because of the
yeah,
social media stuff. So that's been a cool thing. Like the guys on nights, I do residential, and that's been a big issue for them getting some equipment and whatnot, or the time that it takes.
Yeah.
So
So
like
then the
from
repair is more justifiable at that time, you know?
which I would love. I love repairing stuff, so I'm all for it. I'm all
Yep.
game.
Yep.
But yeah, that was like another one that I had, but this one there was two, and I was like, usually this spot, like I've done enough repairs, and that's another thing in the comments, like they'll tell me like, why didn't you just fix it, or what are you wasting time, this and that. I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
like, look, I've done this repair before. It never lasts, right? Like sometimes a copper to aluminum, if it, especially if it's like a crack, like it runs. I was like, I'm not gonna waste my time repairing it because then I got to come back, you know, sometime
Yeah.
soon. I've had that issue before, so I tried. I had two customers, and one of them had somebody already try to patch the same kind of leak. It was aluminum to copper. Somebody already tried to patch it. They made a mess. I was like, look, I need to cut this out, and we need to, the coil, right?
Yeah.
So I had two repairs that needed two coils for two different customers. Could not get that coil. Like I talked to the
Oh,
distributor. They're like, they just told me no. I was like, they can't find it. I was like,
yeah.
are you kidding me? And then they had like a counter day, and I talked to somebody that came down. It was a Ream Rude guy. He's like, no, we should be able to. And then like I told him, and then I never got anything out of it. So I was like, I'm sorry. And they literally told me that they're not like they're I don't know what's going on with the whole, keeping up with equipment in the past like
Yeah.
5 years,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Because and he told me, he's like, we're trying to get equipment made. So like if you need a coil, he's like, the thing is we're gonna use the coils for the new equipment before we even sell like parts for it. So he's like, if we don't have it, we don't have it. Like it's gonna go to a new unit. I'm like, all right,
Gotcha.
like I don't know what to tell the customer then. Like
Yeah.
I was like, I can try and fix it, or you're gonna need a new unit. I can't get you the damn coil.
Yeah. That's the situations a lot of us are in every day, man. And
And
you
that
do that repair, and then another little rub out
if
comes,
something
and it's
else
like,
happens, yeah.
yeah.
Because at that point, especially after two repairs, like they were better off getting a new system or whatever it was. And some of these manufacturers, like they just put us, they put us in
Oh.
these hard problems. Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I've aluminum evaporator coils on a Rudd rooftop leak like a sieve. And I've caught myself because we couldn't get it for like 2 3 weeks. The customers, it was actually a tattoo shop, and they're like, we can't tattoo. I'm losing my money. And I'm like, all right, let me pull this coil out. I'll try to, because
yeah,
I got some the aluminum rod. I was trying to fix it all up. I had it all pressure tested. It all went great. Put it back in there. A week later, all out again.
yeah. It happens.
No.
Yeah, and that's why I tell customers like, okay, I've had enough mistakes or like things go bad to know like you're better off getting like a new coil, whatever it is. Like, but now we have
Yeah.
the issue of getting that coil.
Yeah, man. It's a fun process. That's what keeps it entertaining, honestly.
Yeah, before, and that's why I mentioned earlier, like that there's a balance now. You got to tell them when to get something replaced or new. Because
Or you can
before, yeah, before
find
when I
somebody
started,
else. Yeah.
oh, I don't mind turning away work anymore. Like
Yeah. No, for sure.
there was that one that I mentioned that I couldn't get the coil, but it's also the customer because they call so many companies, but like we're one of the main ones, but I already know they're gonna call somebody else. So I was trying to tell them like we can try and fix it, all that stuff. And I was okay not doing it because it was in a weird spot too. And sure enough, somebody else came in and patched it up, and it's working. I'm like, okay, cool. Like you got it fixed. I don't have
Yeah.
an issue with it. I just don't have a problem turning away work because I know, the headaches and all that come with it. Because I had one a few years ago. But it was a new. It always happens with a new customer though. A new
You're
customer
right.
comes in,
You are. Yep.
new customer, and you want to patch something, you want to fix a coil, whatever is
You want
leaking.
to be you want to be a perfect tech, dude.
You want to be the tech
Yes.
that saves the day, and that's the
Yep.
one that goes bad. Yeah.
Yep.
So when I had this one come up, and it was like a year ago, that was in my head the whole time. I'm like, I tried this a couple years ago and it went bad. So I was like, I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, man. That is rough. That is rough.
Yeah, I had one, and it's funny, but around here it's a wild west with these customers because I had, like I said, that was a new customer, and I tried to patch it, didn't work, and I drove by a couple months later, and they had all new RTUs on the roof. I'm like, why didn't you just give us that? Because
Yeah.
I was telling them they needed new units because they were shot, but I was trying to. They wanted it fixed. They wanted it fixed, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
damn it, like but it's okay.
Yep. Yeah. You get customers like that all the time too. You see the new unit sitting out there where you just treated them like your grandma. They would have baked you cookies before you left.
Yeah.
And then you think you had the job and you never got the job. It's like, why did you even call somebody else? I just sugared you up.
See, like, and
Ugh.
that's another real situation that you got to deal with because it used to bother me a lot when
Oh yeah.
I didn't get the job or I did something wrong, and I'm like, what did I do? And you can't wrap your mind around it. And you're like, what's like it bothers you.
You see that mini split video of the that I put out where there was mini split lines everywhere? The
Sounds
Mr. Cool
familiar.
unit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So we did that job for that house. We lost it. They came through and had that thing installed, and I swear we probably charged double what that unit cost. To fix it and get it back
Oh
to
yeah.
proper functioning. You get customers that will pay it on the back end too.
Yeah. So like, you know, that's another thing I've been trying to, and I had to do it myself. Like, not worry about, not worry about the work, not worry about the customer. Like, just be the best tech you can. Always be the same tech. Always be respectful, and give them options, and just do what you can. And I know there's a little salesman part to it, but for the most part, just be honest and be a good tech
Yeah,
because you can't
yeah.
control
Fortunately,
everything.
you really can't. And I mean, you got to really be able to pick and choose your company too. Like I feel like a lot of guys should do a ride along with the company before they sign on, because like you could really find yourself in a company that is really trying to push stuff that don't need to be pushed, and you're finding it hard to sleep at night.
Dude,
My company
real
where
quick,
I'm at.
I had
Oh, go.
Ramon. He goes by 5 minute delay. He worked at a company, and he was a helper at the time. He went to a call where this old lady, started crying to her because the guy was like upselling the equipment. Like he wanted, no, he was like, it's a new system or nothing, right? And
Yeah,
the lady needed air conditioning. I think it was in the middle of the summer or something. Crying to the guy that I had on, Ramon, that she had issues with payments, and her car, and I don't know what else, bills. And this other guy, that sold her an equipment, they got back into the van, and the guy was like celebrating. He's like, I'm gonna make good money and this and that.
yeah,
Ramon quit the next day, I think. And he's like, I couldn't.
yeah,
He's like, I couldn't. I
yeah.
don't know how these guys sleep at night, and it bothered him.
Yep, yep, yep. So like when I know a system has to be replaced, it's simply like, hey, I'm at this point, it's not repairable anymore unless you spend major dollars, which I don't recommend. I'm going to send my sales guy over here and I'm out
Yeah.
the door. Like there's no me trying to upsell anything. And I love that. The only thing if you get your jobs done effectively and efficiently, you get paid more.
Yeah.
So I always want to be moving, man. Like I
Yeah.
need to
I'm the
be
same
running
way.
like 6 to 10 calls a day. Shoot, let's go. You get an hour for a blower motor, you can do a blower motor in 20 minutes in the house. So if you do a couple of them, you're by the end of the day you're racking up, and customers actually needed the stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah.
No, I try to fix everything. I love going, just being call to call, getting on things. And but I deal with customers or managers and stuff like that. So like I'll explain to them, and it's just being honest. Like, okay, like you said, if it needs A, B, and C, and that's like several $1,000s, like, look into getting a new equipment because it's just drop in, replace it, and you got warranty on that one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So try to
People don't.
explain everything.
Yeah. People don't really get it until you're like, well, you're going to have a warranty now, and then they're
Yeah.
like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, pay once and don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's a hard thing to juggle. From what I've, when I talk to other guys, like you said, like it might depend on the company. So if you're miserable at one company, it probably is the company. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
always there's always something better if you're not enjoying your job at wherever you're at, and you got to love what you do. I love what I do. I'm sure
You
you
do.
do too.
Yeah. And for anyone that, is struggling in the workplace, uh, like I found myself like when, you know, couple workmates get together and start talking negatively about how this job could have went
Oh
better
yeah,
and that, I find your mental state will start to really get into that negative space. And then before long, you may have like you guys are just complaining about the whole job for 2 hours before any work got done, and you still got to do the work. So why even be in that space? So yeah, like honestly, me over 10 years in as a senior tech, I'm very much by myself in my van. I hardly ever have a helper for that reason because I don't even want to hear any
yeah.
negative talk throughout the day. You don't need it.
No, that's a big part of it. Mental is you got to be positive. You got to love your job. I
Yeah.
mean, that's what it is at the end of the day. Because if you don't, I mean that affects you in so many other ways. It could affect your work. It could affect your personal life. Everything.
One bad egg in the bunch could ruin it for everybody. I tell you, and I've seen it. I've seen it physically to where like I've had an installers out there, and I have to go finish it up because they just had such a hard time with it. Like
Yeah.
still had to get done though. So yeah, that's
So
why I'm trying to let everybody know that it is possible and to have fun doing it.
I mean that's an important part. Have fun. And you have I see behind you the hats and stuff. You print all your own stuff,
Yeah.
the merch that you sell and all that.
Yeah, man, that was a straight grind there, and I really went hard with it last winter. I kind of when summer came around, I still leave the TikTok shop open, but um, like I said, man, summer and family that is number one to me. I still need to get back in there, especially if TikTok's about to go away. I need to try to get rid of some of this stuff, but uh,
So
anyway, yeah, it's always
how long has that been around, the printing?
for a year since October last October.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know if that
Yeah.
was something you had done before or anything.
No, dude, we just dived right into that. It was one of those things everybody wanted to.
It was
I don't even
requested?
know. Everybody like, yeah, you need to put some merch out, and
Oh, okay.
it just like one thing led to another, and I just started weekly putting stuff out, little shirts, different trades, trying to hit every trade,
But
and yeah,
you print them yourself, right?
yeah. I use a it's vinyl. I use a printer. We got a Cricut, and we cut it all, and then I press it and send it.
That's crazy because I use like Teespring or whatever it's called.
Well,
Just
I'll
to
tell you right now, my wife is like the brains on that. So
Oh,
I
okay.
give her, I edit or I make it up on my iPad, the design, and
Yeah.
then I send it to her. We need to put this on a shirt, and she does all that, like transporting and configuring. And it was a process there, dude. I remember when we first did it. God, we did something, and it took the shirt like the Cricut to cut maybe like 10 minutes. I'm like, we ain't gonna be able to keep up with this. Like, when it
You
first
had
came out,
orders coming in and stuff trying to keep up.
yeah, and I'm like, this is, we're taking 2-3 hours to make like 4 shirts, and yeah, it was killing us. But then we figured out a different system, more of like you gotta lay just a full print out. We were trying to cut and layer it up, and that just
Yeah.
wouldn't happen.
That's crazy cuz that's a whole other thing that you
That
took
was
on.
that was yeah. That was like you're coming home from maybe a 12-hour day doing a boiler, and then you got like
Some
10
orders.
shirt orders. Yeah. So I loved it though, man. It really it did help out, and it was fun. I got a map over there of everybody that I've sent stuff to, and
Oh,
it's every state is full. So it's pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's pretty,
So
yeah.
you design that stuff yourself?
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool. Well, I did it for my business, and then I do it now with the stuff that I put out. I love being creative on that end too. So I'll
Oh yeah.
draw up what I can on my iPad as well.
Yeah. When I was in juvie, that's all I did was draw, and that
I
was my escape.
I
So
wasn't in juvie, but when I was in class, I would just sketch in my notebook all day.
yep. Yep.
Which is funny because I don't know if I think I no I think I did it on on a video one time, but like I mentioned the logo, like my dad started his business, but he had no logos, no anything. Like he's really good on the technician side, but not the advertising or branding or
Yeah.
anything. So like all those logos that he started with, and kind of we've just kind of updated them as we went by, is sketches that I did during class. So like in my
Yeah.
notebook, those are all the original sketches.
Yeah, man. And it's cool to see like the originals too. Like
I know
I
I
don't know
like
if you know.
I showed my well real quick. I showed my girlfriend and she's like, "Yeah, I would love that." So in a video I did that not too long ago, where I showed like my shitty sketch and then like what it turned into.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So like on TikTok, I was known for like doing like bottom barrel, like people say HVAC's bottom barrel of the trades, and that fired me up. So then I came out with this bottom barrel standard. Whether you're a maintenance guy, installer, whatever, there's a bottom barrel standard, and what I look at it is I'm getting the bottom of that barrel and I'm cleaning it, and it's going to be clean. So my face of blue collar built, like when you pull it up, is actually a barrel with my glasses on and my beard, but
Oh yeah.
behind that is a barrel, and that you should have saw the first one of that.
I was gonna
It
say
was terrible.
I looked at it recently and I started noticing like there's more to it, and it's funny when you because like when you look at it from afar, it's like a face, but then you look into it and there's like the little intricate
Yeah,
details and stuff like that. That's
yeah,
that's a cool part. Um, and that blue collar built that's like a whole business side, right? That you
yeah. I do have
turned it
that as
into.
an LLC. I
Yeah,
do have that as an LLC for social media and the clothing. Yes, pay
that's
taxes
cool.
and all that crap sucks, but
Well, I was gonna say like when I started, I think that's what helped me too. Is I thought of it as a business, so like I branded it as a
yeah,
social media business, whatever you want to call it, and it's helped me, get through. I don't have it as an LLC yet, but I that's how I thought of social media. I was like, it's another. Eventually, I'm gonna get
yeah.
paid for it, so I would think of it as a business.
Exactly. Like, and write-offs as far as like doing like giveaways and stuff, that helps, when you can do that. Because when I first started, man, I would give away a ton of stuff. I mean, just right out of pocket, like I was buying VETO bags, I
Oh
was buying
yeah,
top Wura tools, nips, I was buying it all and sending it to people, and it was a good old time, man.
yeah. You gotta have fun with it.
Yeah, you do. And my wife was sitting there right with me. We were, yeah, it was a good time. We enjoyed it.
So how did you get started on TikTok, real quick? Like, why did you want to
So
start posting?
I've been on TikTok for like 2 years, a little over 2 years, and I remember it's funny you say that because I was just looking at my Snapchat because that's how I would just send my wife videos of like, man, can you believe this? And I went into this crawl space. It was a crawl space that entered up into like a full basement, Michigan basement, which is like the not a full, like not a finished basement. It's stone wall, nothing pretty. So you were crawling in this crawl, and then you got into this basement, and there was cans and just stuff everywhere that hadn't been touched in years, and I have to walk over all over that stuff. And I showed my wife that, and she's like, "People need to see this." And she actually edited up my first video, and then we put it out there, and I got like 1,500 views with like 15 likes, dude. I was like, dang, this
Yeah,
that's cool, and then yeah, it just went from there. And in the beginning too, like you could post content, 5-second content, a funny something real quick and catch a following. Where now, like any video I post is over a minute long. That's just how you know you're gonna take.
I post every day, and that's my Instagram
Yeah,
and
yeah,
YouTube shorts, whatever it is. Like I could post every day if I wanted to, just showing the crazy crap. And that's why I started mine
yeah,
too. Was like all the crazy crap that I see. I was like,
yeah.
I want it because personally, I was posting that on my like personal Facebook as like stories and little things. I'm like, I
You
should
just
make
want
a
people to know. Yeah,
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 and I was like, maybe I should put like make a dedicated page for this.
yeah. I really got into it. Like a lot of people, like like my wife's family. They think an HVAC tech. And before I started doing social media, they think, oh, you just got to change the batteries or your filter to the furnace, and that's all you do on a daily basis. And then they start watching my videos of me in the trenches in a crawl space,
Yeah.
pulling a heat exchanger or doing this and that, and they're just like, oh. So you definitely get a different view from the family side, from everybody, really.
Yeah, because
So,
that used to bother me too, and it's like when they thought, we didn't do anything at work all day. I was like, no,
yeah,
I was like, no,
it's not
look
a
at
job.
what I did. Yeah, I was like, look at
Yeah,
what I did today.
yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, it's not a job that you can just come in from 9 to 5 and just think you're going to be done. It's just not. I remember last week I put a boiler in. The lady had to have her hot water because we do a lot of combo boilers, hot water and hydronic. So she had to have her hot water on. You got to do the boiler side to get the hot water on. So
Yeah,
I was at her house, me and my helper, till 9:30 at night. We put 13 hours in just and temporarily got it going. We were there the next day and finished up, but it's just something that you got to be ready for. Even in
yep,
service world, you never know when you can have a call just turn sideways on you, like you're maybe you're putting in a blower motor or something, and you bump a coil and create a leak, or
hey,
something.
we've all had that happen.
Yeah, dude. So it could go 0 to 60 so fast, man. And I always say to myself, like when I catch myself like messaging my wife, man, today might be early.
Oh no,
Those are
don't
not.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah, don't do that. Don't, I quit doing
don't
that a couple years ago, man. You
don't
jinx
make
yourself
any
so
don't make any promises.
fast.
Uh, I've tried recently because we talked about rules and boundaries earlier. You've been able to get that from your company. I run a business, so up until a few years ago, I think we were like all over the place with calls and hours that I worked and all that. Like we finally managed it better. And that also goes into like for us, we're at these locations so many times. Like I'm listening and watching for anything. I'm like, hey, that sounds like it's gonna give out, or I can take a look at
Yeah.
this. I can take a look at this while I'm here. Now that helps me with avoiding weekend calls, but it also can help you, get more out of your call if you're there for something. And that's my whole thing with upselling is like that's like an honest way to upsell. I'm like, okay, I'm just bringing this to
Yes.
your attention, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to take care of it now, and then you can get a bigger ticket out of it? So that's kind of how I done it now, and I get my weekends back, I get everything back. So I've been trying to manage it better now.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. You deserve it.
It's a lot. It's HVAC is not for it's not for everybody. It
It's,
you got to be built a certain way, right? And the first few years can suck. Whatever,
oh,
everybody goes through that when you first get into it, you got to realize, it's hard work. You got to put a lot into it. You got to build up your character, your
oh
whatever,
yeah.
and then you get to enjoy it. It's a lot of that first year.
Oh yeah.
And I had Christian on here. He's like, yeah, my first year was horrible, but I wanted to, be good at it. And he's like, I love it now. And I'm like, yeah, it's the same thing that happened to me. Like I hated the first couple of years, and then like it just clicked for me, and I loved it after that.
Yeah. I think if you can have someone to talk to, like I remember calling my wife, I'd be in the van just like
Yeah.
literally losing my mind, like almost on the verge of breakdown, and you're just like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And she's just like, you gotta figure it out, and she'll calm you down, and then you're like, all right, woosah, we're going back in, we're gonna give it another plan of attack, and usually, when you come back clear minded, you can figure shit out a
Yes.
lot better.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I try to tell people now. Like the stress levels can get high in this trade. So if you feel like you're overwhelmed or anything like that, even if it's like a 5 minute break, you need to walk out, you need to do something, or if you need to leave and come back a different time, like do something, because I have made more mistakes trying to work through when I'm
Yep.
frustrated and stuff like that,
Yep.
versus now I know take a little break, walk out, or call somebody, like you said, or reschedule, do something, because in the end, I work better when I clear my mind. So
Ex-
a lot of stupid mistakes were done when I'm trying to just push through it. Like you have to do that sometimes, but like if you're just not getting it, if you're frustrated, you're overwhelmed, you're like everything's building up, just take a breather, clear your mind, attack it again. And more times than not, because whenever I've gone back, it's always been something super simple or stupid, and I'm like, I
Yeah.
wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll call a tech support and I'll be like, yeah, I got, X, Y, and Z going and here's my readings. And he's just like, well, did you do this? No, dang it. Yeah. So yeah, you definitely, and then getting in a rush too, man. Like in your
Oh
younger
yeah.
years, you get in a rush and you're like, next thing you know, you're forgetting what you were even going out to your van for.
No, it doesn't matter if it's younger years or older years. I have an older tech that I work with, one of our guys, and my thing is because he's old school. He wants to, and my dad gets mad at him because he opens, because we get commercials, so we do these work orders that come in, requests. He opens so many invoices, and then like he doesn't get to close all of them. Like he's just running around trying to get everything done. And I'm like, dude, calm down, because when you get in a rush, like we're not closing invoices, we're not getting things done. You think
Efficient.
you think you're doing a lot because you're everywhere, but like you're not. I need you to do these one on one or one by one. If you need help, reach out. I will go to a job site if you need me to, like whatever it is. Because like no matter if you're in the beginning or the end, or not the end, the beginning
No.
or the later on, don't rush. That's we get more callbacks and issues when you rush. So don't rush either.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it.
And you obviously always learn the hard way, but we learned.
Sometimes that's the only way, man. Do a job, large or small, do it right or don't do it at all.
I was like, don't be afraid. You're gonna make mistakes. We're technicians. We can fix them, right? If I screw something
Yep.
up, we make a leak, worse, whatever it is, we can fix it at the end of the day. It's just you got to get in there. You got to get your hands on it.
Yep. That's right.
So I don't want to keep you too long. We've been here over an hour, so uh,
Yeah, man. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
yeah, I appreciate you for coming on, man, and love what you do. Real, I
Appreciate it,
always
man.
gravitate towards the real world stuff. So again, your customer interactions, all the stuff that you find and deal with on a daily basis, like that's all great. I love it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate what you do trying to get people on here and putting the stuff out you do too, man. Because like I said, I'm getting stuff out of your podcast every week. So keep it up, man.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, thanks again, everybody watching and listening. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.